I'm with Howard Hayhurst. He's a gentleman who's at the age of 60 something has just arrived back from conquering Kilmanjaro. Howard, what were the plains of Africa like?
Fantastic. An experience I would never forget. And I was 65, by the way.
65 years old.
Yes.
Now that is an impressive age to conquer the highest mountain in Africa. How high is it, Howard?
It's just short of 20,000 feet.
So I'd imagine it gets quite cold there at night.
Minus 20.
Did you get frostbite?
No, we were quite okay. We had all the right equipment, thank goodness.
So tell me, how did you get involved in a project to climb Kilmanjaro? Because it seems quite popular. It's the in thing to do it in the Himalayas now, aren't it?
Yes, it is, but this goes back a long way. My son Simon and I have done many climbs in this country, in the Lake District and Yorkshire, and it was Simon's idea actually that we should spread our wings and do something special this year, with it being my 65th, and that was what he came up with, and I agreed.
So the problem is, what do you do to top a 65th birthday where you climb Kilmanjaro? Is it, do I hear Virgin and a trip into space?
I think when you get to 65, it starts to become a cut-off point, don't you?
Well, you could be. You've seen that movie, The Bucket List, haven't you? Have you seen that one?
Yes.
It could be a bit like that. There, you could be doing another one every year until you're 100.
Well, who knows? I'll tell you this much though. I've been back a fortnight now, and it's still very much in the forefront of my mind.
Right. Why is that? Special memories?
Yes, very much so. It was not just the summit itself, which was like standing on the top of the world, but the 8 days climbing it and going down were just out of this world. The size of it, the culture, the people there, the team that we had were just fantastic.
Any problems with altitude sickness or anything?
I didn't personally have, but only a few had, but nothing that stopped them getting to the top.
Okay. What sort of things is that affects you there?
It's, well, the lack of oxygen means that you become disorientated, you lose the will to continue, and loss of energy.
I heard that when people, for Western people, go up these mountain treks, they have enough Sherpas to shake a stick out with them. Did you carry all your own stuff, or did you have people to help you out?
Oh, we certainly had a fantastic team to help us out, but we did carry our own day sacks. But yeah, the guides, we virtually had one guide per person, and they were brilliant. They made sure we were safe.
And if you could encapsulate it in a few words, how would you describe the experience? Is it the sort of thing you have to go there yourself to find out what it means?
Very much so. When we got up to the top, I tried to anticipate beforehand what it might be like, and you can't predict it at all. You have to do it.
Do you think it's been adversely affected by the number of Western tourists making the trek to the top? Is there a well-trodden path, or is there a lot of rubbish there?
No, well, there's no rubbish, no. There are well-trodden paths. We chose to go on one that wasn't well-trodden, in fact the same ones that the red-nosed people went up last year. And that's beautiful, it really is. There's no queues, we were on our own most of the time.
Now, if you could have brought somebody with you that you like, who would you have liked most to have gone on the trip with you?
Well, I'll be honest, and quite honestly, I was very, very happy for my son to be with me.
Right, so it was very much a family affair.
Yes, it was.
Would you like to have taken your wife with you?
I don't think she would have even considered it.
It wouldn't have been her cup of tea then?
Not at all, no. She likes her gardening.
So what sort of planning is involved in going on a trek like that? Did you do a lot of training? Did you run along the beach in your barefoot to get up the resistance in the old legs again?
No, we had about 6 months really of planned training, but it was really going up mountains around here with it. We did the 3 peaks of Yorkshire, we did some in the lakes, and we did a lot of walks around here on the cliff tops.
Did you feel they genuinely prepared you for the experience you were going to be up against?
We thought so at the time, yes, but looking back, I suppose we could have done a little bit more.
So it did take a number of days. What sort of distance were you covering every day? And of course, taking account for the fact that as you go up, it's equivalent of a greater distance.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to explain that, but basically the first 2 days you gain height, but then after the next 3 days you go around the front of the mountain, and the idea is that you go high, you walk high and then come down low to camp, and each time go up slightly higher until you get to the base camp.
Is that like a spiral staircase effect?
No, it's straight up and then down like a triangle.
Right.
And the idea being that you get used to the altitude without actually being in it all the time. And then when you go to the final ascent, you're ready for the altitude.
So it's very ingenious. You live and learn. I must admit, I thought you just went straight for the summit once you'd sort of acclimatized in the valley below.
So did I.
Right. So a sharp shock to the system then.
Yes, it was.
Right. What's next year's plan then?
Well, Simon's already got it planned. The team was so well together. Well, although we haven't met before when we first met, Simon's planned a trip to the Yorkshire Three Peaks for this whole team. We got on so well together, we're going to continue doing other things.
Have you been surprised since you got back? You've been in the local newspaper, you're going to be on the internet here. Are you surprised at the level of interest in your expedition?
Quite frankly, yes. It's quite amazing.
Do you think is it the case of a lot of people would like to do that kind of thing, but they never quite get around to doing it?
Yes, and I think it's a little bit of the unknown as well, and what's involved.
So it's a case of Dr. Livingstone, I presume.
Yes.
Is it? All right. For Seaside Voices with Howard Hayhurst, I'm Justin McCartney. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was good, was it?
Is that all right?
That was fantastic.
Good.
That was good.